with that down, let's move on to main topic number 1. And our first main topic today gets submitted to us by Matthew Kircher, who writes, now that music biopics are becoming a big thing, now it's officially reported that the rock band Kiss is going to get a biopic scheduled for 2021. It's reported that the movie will go through the events through the 70s, 80s, and 90s. What are your thoughts about this? And do you think a Kiss biopic can work? All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, man. And yeah, you read that right, ladies and gentlemen. Kiss, who I can't remember or not, they did a horror movie once, and I even believe they might have battled the Harlem Globetrotters at one point in the 70s. But anyway, Kiss, the rock band, is aiming to have their own biopic. Now, the interesting thing about this is this. This is Kiss saying, we want to make a biopic about ourselves. We're seeing all this great heat we're seeing these other movies get, and we want to make one for ourselves. And anyway, here is the quote from their producer. Their music producer said this. He was on being interviewed, and this is from the website Louder, who writes, speaking on Rock Talk with Mitch LaFon, McGee, he's their producer, said, hopefully in the next week we'll have a company behind it, and we'll start finishing the script. And hopefully by the time we end, we'll have a movie finished for July of next year. McGee revealed that producer Mark Canton, who worked on the movie 300, is involved in the project. If it goes to schedule, the Untitled movie should land in July of 2021, the same month Kiss are set to play their final show in their hometown of New York City. So, Rob, there's a couple of interesting things here. There's a couple of interesting things here that I want to touch on for a second. The first of which is, okay, Kiss wants to do a biopic. All right. Listen, I'm not big. Everybody knows I'm not all that big on the notion of musician biopics. I'm more interested in other people. But Kiss would be an interesting one. They are legends. And their exploits and mayhem off the stage outrival even the ones they do on the stage. So there's that. The problem I have with this story, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but there seems to be this real misguided understanding about how the movie business works. Like, first of all, I don't like the notion of somebody overseeing, producing, and directing and being the main people behind their own biopic. There's something about that to me that says, I wonder if this is going to be, washed a little bit, if this is going to be nice and sparkly clean, and just kind of conveying the things they want to convey. There's that part. We've seen it before. It can be fine. But the other part of this seems to be like, you don't really understand how the movie business works, do you? Number one, they're saying they're going to release this movie in July of 2021. They have no studio attached. They don't have a finished script. But they're saying, how hard can movies be? I mean, movies are easy, right? We'll just finish it off. Like, not taking into account, it seems like they don't understand. Once we get a studio involved, they're going to want to take a look at that script. And then they're going to have their notes on that script. And they're going to do the things that they want to do with that script too. And I don't know, Rob, it just feels like kind of an unrealistic expectation that they're saying, we're doing it ourselves. We're going to have it out for next summer. No, we have no studio attached. No, we don't even have a finished script, but la 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 la. I don't know. Now, granted, a biopic about Kiss is not something that would require 6 months of post-production. It's not something that would require a lot of heavy visual effects, depending on what they want to do. So, I mean, it's not the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in the world, but it seems a little bit unrealistic. Rob, number one, what do you think about the concept of a Kiss biopic, which I think could be pretty cool in principle? But what do you think of that? And then also, what do you think about these goals and targets they seem to have?
First of all, John, Kiss was the first rock concert I ever went to in support of 1979 Dynasty.
You're in the Kiss Army.
And then I was in the Kiss Army, and of course I was following their solo albums where Ace Frehley sang the seminal song Back in the New York Groove, and Dynasty had I Was Made for Loving You, Baby. Come on, man. We're talking Kiss. Now, here's what I would do. If I want it to be more like a Rocket Man movie where it's like a total phantasmagoria where you actually see Gene Simmons' character rise up from hell and Paul Stanley comes down from the stars and like Peter Criss is a werecat, coming from the African felt. And they play the whole, and then they all meet in New York, these fantasy, and of course, Ace Frehley, I guess he's an astronaut. So maybe Paul Stanley he's the star child, but Ace Frehley is the astronaut. I don't know how it's going to work, but it could be great. It could be great. It could be great. But yes, I mean, to me, the one thing about Kiss is as much as I was part of the Kiss Army, and as a kid, how could you not be? And I think Dynasty was the last time they had their makeup on with the original lineup. And then they changed to Unmasked after that, I think. But I do think that Kiss was always kind of a contrived band. Like, they were put together. It was always shamelessly commercial. And it's not like it was the school of Hard Knocks. I mean, maybe it was. But, Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park was that TV movie they made.
Yep.
Kiss has always been shameless. I think I was in the 4th grade when Kiss Alive came out, and when every kid went to each other's birthdays, we gave everybody Kiss Alive. That's what you got when you were 10 years old. I mean, it was like a rite of passage. I swear to God, it was Kiss Alive, and then it was later the Scorpions Love Drive. And every young boy got them. It was kind of like getting a lightsaber, but different. And I just, while I think it could be cool, I just, like you said, I don't know if a band produces their own biopic. I think it's kind of like, it is a very Kiss thing to do, though. Knowing them, they'll make the movie, no studio will want it, and they'll release it in theaters anyway. And the whole Kiss Army will show up. Or what they'll do is they'll go play concerts, and then they'll show the movie as part of it, like a Kevin Smith tour. They'll figure it out. They'll figure out some way to market the hell out of this.
To that point, one of the interesting things about this story is the fact that they are one of the reasons they're targeting July of 2021 is they've just kicked off their final tour. They say this is their retirement tour. And their final show is going to be in New York City in July of 2021. So I think it looks like they're trying to coincide having a movie come out to coincide with their absolute final show that they're doing before they retire and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know, man.
Dude,
it's interesting.
How great if their ultimate encore is Back in the New York Groove. I mean, yeah. I'd want to be at that concert. That'd be awesome.
So the question here is, guys, what do you think about the idea of a Kiss biopic? Are you down for it? What do you think about the idea of them just kind of coordinating their own biopic? What do you think about their timeline, considering they don't actually have a finished script and they don't have a studio attached at this point? But who knows? Maybe optimism springs eternal, Rob. Guys, what do you think about all this? Jump down to the comment section below and leave us your thoughts. All right.